Good morning, everybody, and this is your SP 500 setups for today. So pretty much an up and down day yesterday. We have formed what could be seen as a tweezer bottom, not quite off some decent structure. You can see that's the closest bit that we've got. And you can see if you look left is quite a bit of interaction at that level. And then we have this pin bar here, which I suppose we could argue is pretty much the level we should have been looking at, which is 44.52. So for me, on the 8th hour, we are in between the moving averages, we are ranging. Simple as that. We do have a grouping of the oscillators happening to the downside, but we're going to have to drop through the lows of last week before that even comes into play. So we are waiting on data. We've got CPI data in Eurozone this morning, and then we've got the Feds tomorrow as well. So I suspect more of the same, to be honest. I don't think there's going to be any real fireworks until the data's out the way. Data's probably going to come out as expected, and everybody's going to stay as confused as we are at the moment. So that's kind of the view that I've got right now. However, when we start drilling down through the time frame, so from the 3-hour perspective, big red bar going into the close of last week. So, last week's bar is not very bullish. We are below all the moving averages here, and we've got a crossover. The oscillator is the only thing that's indicating that we need to be careful of jumping in short. But we had an inside bar, and then we've got another inside bar. Tail to the upside, tail to the downside. So that's just confusion. But we are below the moving averages. So that is something that you do need to keep in the back of your mind. The slightest little flutter of bad news is going to get this thing moving to the downside. So again, looking at the hour, trend is down at the moment. We missed all the structure that we were looking for yesterday. So every single level that we looked at in this zone here was basically breached, and we basically went up to this level here, and it's not that strong, I suppose. Hindsight being a perfect science, I suppose you could say it's really strong, but I would argue that this point here was a lot stronger, and we battled with it all through the morning, and then going into the session broke through it and came back. That's always the indication that nobody really knows what direction we're going in, and this is just the algorithms trying to trap you. People are trying to be short here, algorithms are trying to drive it past, take all the stops, collect profits, and then sell higher up, remove the downside. So anyway, typical of a range environment. And we're also starting to form a bit of a triangle here. So with all that noise in your head, if we get down to the 15-minute, there's one constant thing between the 15 and the 1 hour. We are staying below the 150 EMA. And you can see that rejection up there. The hindsight, again, being a perfect science, pretty decent setup there, 50-point stop loss to come back and sort of close a gap here at 135. Remember, this price action here that does close a gap is pre-market, so it's not when the S&P was open. This one is when the S&P was open. So for me, I think it's still a case of sitting quietly, waiting for one of these two levels to break. I'd ignore this level in the middle, but this level here at 44.68, break and retest that to the upside. Then we have a potential rounding bottom forming and a potential trend reversal. Break through this area here. And now when I say break, I want to break like this. There was a decent retest, but you can see there's no bar, there's no follow through on that. So I want to see a break, pullback, retest for the shorts. So that's kind of my view today. We're going to have to break one of these two levels for me to even consider this at the moment, and I wouldn't be too surprised to see it just range in this level until tomorrow. So that's kind of my view this morning. Hope it helps you. If it does, don't forget to drop us a thumbs up there, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.